Morning, everyone. Thank you for your presence. I'm joined, of course, by our distinguished Vice Chair, Katherine Clark. The best thing that can be said about the president's speech is that it's over. Donald Trump has left the building, and now we can get back to doing the business of fighting for the people. House Democrats are going to continue our focus on kitchen table pocketbook issues. The president briefly talked the talk. Now it's time for us to walk the walk together. House Democrats have an ambitious agenda on lowering health care costs and on a real infrastructure plan, and we look forward to working on these issues in a bipartisan fashion.
The president certainly covered a lot of ground last night. He told a story of shared ideals and unity. But in reality, he's distorted the impact of his own policies and actions and advocated for policies that are rooted in the past and omitted issues that Americans have ardently called for Washington to address. He proclaimed support for an economy that works for everyone, but failed to mention the $2 trillion debt caused by his tax bill that favors corporations and wealthy people over working Americans. He talked about working families in this country, but failed to mention those workers are facing stagnant wages, increasing costs of childcare, and housing. He called for protecting those with pre-existing conditions, but I did not hear him call to end the lawsuits attacking the ACA and would upend those protections for pre-existing conditions and other protections for families in that bill. I hope to work with him on eradicating AIDS and HIV, but this is in total contrast to the policies that he has put forth that threaten the LGBTQ community and his assault on Title X funding that in 2016 alone would provide more than 4 million people with testing, including HIV. The president spoke about the tragedy in Pittsburgh. He brought 2 survivors of that incredible tragic events that unfolded at the Tree of Life Synagogue. But he never talked about gun violence in this country and what we are going to do about it. But when you have the president talking about the Democratic proposals in one part of his speech, strengthening our ports, making sure we have more personnel, using technology, and then he veers off in misinformation about El Paso, that it was one of the most dangerous cities until they built a wall. That is simply not accurate information.
We're not going to overreach. We're not going to over-investigate. We're not going to over-politicize our constitutional responsibilities. The House is going to proceed with restraint, with regular order, and that's why hearings will take place, including the one on exploring taxes related to the president and the vice president before any action is taken.